This is Missouri football coach Eli Drinkwitz hating on NIL.
We're giving guys 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old life-changing money. People are making more money in NIL than my brother-in-law, who's a pediatrician who saves lives. And we kind of do it cavalier, and we think that there's not going to be any side effects or there's not going to be issues. I mean, there's information out there. There's bad actors out there always trying to make a dollar. They're involved in running around campuses trying to gather information.
Sounding objectively out of touch.
These young men are getting a lot of money that is a lot right now, and there's not other than trying to hand out advice and provide some parameters to it. You know, we talk about in recruiting, you recruit your own problems. You know, with this NIL situation, we've created our own problems in college sports.
And like a serious grouch, this is the same dude who has owned the press room with a jab at Florida head coach Dan Mullen. After the UF man showed up in a Darth Vader costume, they crushed Mizzou 41-17, and Mullen ended the presser with the most famous line from Star Wars. After a 24-23 loss to Mizzou in 2021, though, Drinkwitz trolled Mullen right back. And look, it was all in good fun. What I find interesting is his rhetoric on name, image, and likeness, claiming it's the players who may not be worth the money when the man himself signed a $6 million extension. I mean, in the most respectful terms to Drinkwitz and all other haters of NIL, too bad. The system has been rigged against the athletes since Walter Byers built the NCAA to what it is today. And guess what? The schools are still getting away with it. They came to this conclusion to say, you know what? We're not going to pay the athletes, even though they're entitled to it. These are athletic directors, athletic boards, schools that make a killing off of these kids while paying them nothing. Mark Emmert would say they're getting a degree, they're getting education, they're getting room and board. They are bringing in millions of dollars to your schools. And you're saying, hey, we're giving you a card with points on it so you can go get a chicken sandwich from the mess hall. It does not make sense, their approach. But then they found the middle ground. Hey, let's allow them to make money, but just don't take ours. Do not ever take ours. That's what they did. Take a look at any deal that has been executed between player and corporation. It is not coming from the school. It does nothing to hamper the university's own pockets. It comes from local businesses in the area or even mega partnerships like AT&T. This point of the kids make more than my brother-in-law who's a pediatrician who saves lives. Let me just ask you a question, sir. Would your resume and career be where it is if you didn't have the players? They are quite literally saving your financial life. Where would these coaches be without a free labor force? Ask yourself that. Myron Metcalf of ESPN would tweet, Clayton Farr Jr. is the chief of the fire department in Columbia, Missouri. He makes $146,000 a year. Eli Drinkwitz, $6 million this year, or more than 41 times what the leader of the life-saving fire department gets. Somebody should ask the Mizzou coach about that one. After hearing the backlash, Drinkwitz would take to Twitter, writing in part, I am no way complaining about player compensation. Regardless of the question that was posed, Drinkwitz steered the convo to NIL by his own volition, a Freudian slip expressing a resentment shared by many of his fellow coaches, including Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, who seem similarly exasperated by the changing power dynamic in college sports, wrote awful announcing. And that is a fair point, because let's not allow memory to fail us here. Dabo Swinney said he would quit coaching altogether if players got paid. As far as paying players, professionalizing college athletics, that's where you lose me, he said. I'll go do something else because there's enough entitlement in this world as is. There's a similar point to Mel Kiper's I'll retire if Jimmy Clausen isn't a successful quarterback line. And what do you know? They are still there. They're still in those positions. Own up to it, y'all. You said that you wouldn't be there, and here you are, delivering NFL draft analysis and losing in the ACC. So be it. Kiper raking it in. Swinney, $93 million extension at the time of those comments.
Honestly, I mean, for me, we built this program on NIL. We really did. It's probably different than what you're thinking, though. We built this program in God's name, image, and likeness.
Here are my closing thoughts. These coaches are big mad because they liked it the way it was. And now they have stiffer competition. In a way, it's become more of a level playing field. And if one were to say, well, Nick Saban's one of the good ones, and hey, Coach K was one of the good ones, and hey, Jim Boeheim was one of the good ones, you sure about that? You sure about that? Lastly, they are mad because they can't control the players anymore. The players want more. I don't blame them for wanting more. And they wish that they could go back to the good old days of paying guys under the table instead of them getting a deal from Verizon. It's about control, and they're losing it.